Alright, so this is Masterclass Lesson 14, Offensive Hand, Defensive Hands, or pretty much just the idea of understanding, figuring out if your opponent's hands is offensive or defensive, based on, so that we can determine your lines of play. Because if you end up, let's play the video, sorry about that. If you end up in a situation where you have the ability to swing a lot, put pressure in and attack your opponent for a lot of damage, should you, you know what I mean? And it's important to understand if your opponent can clap back, and that's important to know that. And the thing about clap back is not just attacking you back in general, it's about being able to attack you back and win the game. So that's the clap back. So you want to make sure you don't end up in a scenario where your opponent where you deal a lot of damage, your opponent survives, and then they clap back, right? They come back and end you out. You want to prevent that. So obviously the way you'll know to prevent that is to be defensive. Now, can you just be defensive off the bat? Just always play defense, so that way when your opponent does try to clap back, you already have the defense, already are prepared. Right now I have the energy for Topo, but I have no Topo in my hand. I don't even got no Dimension Magic, since the lead is blue and whatnot. Right? You can see that my hand, other than Bodyguard Electric, is very offensive. There's no defense in my hand, other than Electric, of course. But everything in my hand is all about attack damage. I got some Arrival, got some Free Play. Right here I could have done an Arrival play, because I could have just comboed what's his name, Surprise Attack Frieza, and then tap one red for my Gogeta. That way my opponent will have to deal with a 25k double strike leader swing, and then on top of that, as you can see, he's going to go Senzubi, which means his hand's defensive because he has a Senzubi. Look, he has a card that's really only good for comboing, and he's more likely going to use it for combo. So you see, he went 25 on that, and then now I'm going to do Sankawa, I guess. Yep. But I could have done, I could have went up to 25k if I did the Frieza play. He stopped my double strike, so he's not willing to take the double strike. So you notice that he wasn't willing to take the double strike. He could have just took and saved his hand and just plus 2 cards, but he didn't want to take the double strikes. To him, that was important. And he defended. So you saw he defended. So right here, I'm going 20k double strike. I'm trying to get that damage through. If he's able to defend this, then his hand's definitely defensive, right? But if he lets this go through, then okay, he had 1 defensive card, so he tried to defend a little bit, but it technically wasn't necessary. He does take the damage, but he immediately went off defensive on my first attack. He could have assumed that I was just going to do 2 damage and that's it, and do nothing else. He didn't have to defend right then, that he could save that for later. It is Senzubi. It's better to use it when you have more energy than when you only have 1 energy. But he felt like it was important to save his life. Now right there, I did have 4 damage on 4 damage output. Only half of it went through because he defended. And you can see him here now, he's attacking, which is a basic play. So that right there is not a clapback, that's just basic, of course. And he took down saying Kaba instead of going for my leader. So that means his hand is more defensive than it is offensive, which is why he's getting rid of the saying Kaba, because it's a threat. If I keep it, I get to swing at him again, which means he has to defend, and he doesn't want to have to defend. He wants to save his defense for it's better to reduce my ability to attack him so he can defend. Well, he's defending. Okay, in this scenario, because he's defending and trying to reduce my ability to attack him a lot means his defense, the defense in his hand is low. Like he has a couple defensive cards. Like you see here, no response, so he has very little defensive cards. So his hand is actually more offensive, but they're high cost. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So right here, he has a lot of high cost. Another thing important, this is for a different video. I don't know what this was. I can't see that. I'm assuming he comboed that for 5K. Yeah, cause I don't know what happened there. So he comboed it for 5K, and I guess I ended my turn on that. But like I said, his hand is a mirror of his energy area is a mirror of his hand. So you see, there's a 5-drop triple strike in his energy area. You see, he has 3 copies of the same unison, 2 in energy, 1 he just played. So again, you notice my hand and my energy area, you see some similarities. You see these Videls. So your energy area is a reflection of your hand. So that's another thing. So clearly he has unisons, obviously, right? So he has very little combo power. He has these big cards that require energy to combo, like that giant ape. And of course they're high cost cards, so he can't play the ape yet. He needs at least 5 energy to try to play the ape, but he has to counter something or just drop it for 5. So now he's, you know, starting to untap. So now he finally has something he can play other than Senzu Bean. So you're starting to see, you know, based off of his actions, based off of his energy, based off of what he did as soon as the duel started, you know, what his hands are starting to look a lot like. So then you can take that information, right, and take that to account to what he's possibly capable of doing, which means obviously once he gets to 5 energy, you know, he'll start being a threat because he'll start playing bigger cards. Right now you see I have a lot of cheaper cards. I have a negate in my hand with Videl. Could use it to stop an attack. I could combo and do an arrival play defensively, of course, because Gogeta in my hand has the ability to pop a battle card. The funny thing is you want a Frieza to hit the field with you know, surprise attack Frieza with Gogeta from Gogeta's effect. Right now there's no battle card, so there's no need for me to do the arrival play. And I got 2 Gogeta, so right now I could use the Gogeta, well not now, but I could obviously use Gogeta for combo since it's red-green to play the other Gogeta and get the Frieza out. He still has no battle card, so Bodyguard Legic's still useless at this moment in time. I have red energy, so I can't play my unison. So it's just a matter of charging energy. Since I know I can't use Legic, he's just dedicated energy now because he, you know, has no use. Everything else in my hand does have some use once I get a chance. Let's see. So again, with the idea of knowing if your opponent has offensive defense, as you can see, it's clear offense. Some of it you can tell if their hands offensive. See, now I'm doing the arrival play, even though I'm not going to be able to KO anything. I'm still doing the arrival play. So 20k with the leader, arrival to get this bad boy out there, so I can start double striking. My point's I'm already at 4. I need to get my point down to 2, so, or at least get them down to 4 if I can. It's hard to tell what super combo that is, but the fact that he's shaking my card, I'm like, okay, that's probably Zamasu, and the leader is blue, so that's probably blue, yellow, Zamasu super combo. So he was able to combo. His leader is awakened, so of course his leader is 25k from that super combo play, and my Gogeta is tapped. So you see defensive. You see how he has the Zamasu, and you see how he was able to defend, and he had the Senzu Bean earlier. You know, so his hand is a little bit more defensive than anything. The unison, you know, essentially is offensive. See, look, there's a Senzu Bean, so his hand is pretty defensive. You're starting to see a pattern there, and it's important because that lets you know you know, how to play against your opponent, because you're literally seeing what they're doing, and the energy is a mirror of their thing. Ironic, I was never going to mention the whole, you know, energy thing being a mirror of what's in your opponent's hand, because essentially that's a cheat code, right? You know, you literally look at their energy, you pretty much can tell what's in their hand. Right now he's tapping for 3, so what? No, he's tapping for 4. A booty play? Or I think it's an Ubuni play. Nope, of course. It's that one, because that's what this deck is. That's this. Ubuni is in the deck, but that's what this is. I remember this play. I've played against this deck a couple times from different people. Different people played the starter coup deck, and the idea, of course, is he's going to untap 2 energy with the leader, and then untap the remaining energy with that Janimba, which is a 20k crit with deflect, and he's going to be all his energy untapped. Obviously, the deck, you already know that the deck is relatively defensive. It will put something to swing with, but it'll untap its energy for defense. So we already know the deck's game plan, but there's a difference from knowing what the deck can do and what your opponent actually has in their hand to do. So that's the difference, right? You can know your opponent. Your opponent could be playing Dark Bull, and you'd be like, well, I know he has a whole bunch of 30k beaters in his deck. Yeah, you know that. But if your opponent is not playing them, not milling them, doesn't have it in the hands or whatnot, none of that matters. It doesn't matter what's in the deck. What matters is what's in their hand and what they do. So right now we're trying to figure out what's in their hand and what they can do. Right now, I got 3 cards in my hands, and my opponent's hand is very thick. 3, so it's like what? 9, 10, 11 cards in his hand. He got 11 cards in his hand. He has 8 cards in his hands more than me. I'm at 4 life, he's at 6 life. Currently, this is not looking good for me, right? And since he's awakened, of course, that means every time he attacks, he draws. I don't have a draw leader. My leader's more of a double life leader, a defensive leader. So I'm not getting no pluses from Zamasu. Of course, I would need to have like a 2-drop unison that I've considered it like I would play in this deck. I don't currently play this deck at the current moment or anything, but if I were to like play this deck, I would upgrade it and put in the 2-drop Piccolo Jr., Descendant of the King, or something like that, unison, which has the +1 ability to draw a card, so that way I have a draw engine, because my hand's mighty thin right now. There was another 2-drop unison that I was testing out in the deck, but I only get to draw 1 card from it and then it dies. My opponent like kills it real quick, because it doesn't have a +1 ability, it has a +0 ability. So that means I play 2, drop it, draw a card, and then it dies. Right, because my opponent will attack it twice and kill it. So I need something that can plus, and that's where the Piccolo comes in. Plus, the Piccolo has extra abilities besides the +1 draw. So I definitely would use that, because that would have been a good play to make the Jiren I have in my hand, Unison. Good card, of course, because he has an auto, which I can use against my opponent on their turn. And he can 20k double strike is always good, and that's a plus ability. So hopefully soon I'll be dropping that Jiren. Like if I do it right, nah, I can't do both. No, what I'm saying? Yeah, I can. It's only 400. Yeah, if I put the Frieza in energy, tap 3 reds for Jiren and 1 red for Saiyan Kaba, I could try to help myself get close to self-awakening. So you see I am charging the Frieza. So that's 5 energy right there. Now I could play my 5-drop Go Tanks, because he only needs 3 red and then 2 of anything. So I have enough for, I could play Jiren or Insane Kappa or just the Go Tanks. And the Go Tanks will give me 4 bodies on board with double strike, obviously. So either I'm going to go wide, or I'm going to go, either I'm going to go wide, or I'm just going to go for some value, get some more cards on board. The thing is, Jiren doesn't give me no draw power, no value there. Saiyan Kaba can help me get close to awakening, and once I'm awakened, I can start drawing. I guess I am going for the Jiren play. So let's see, there's 3 for that. As you can see so far, his hand's been mostly defensive, but he does have some offense in there, but it's mostly defense so far. That's what he's relying on. The more he draws, the more that changes. But at least we know so far his hand's been relatively defensive. The fact that he put a Senzu Bean in his energy area instead of keeping it, which would have been better to keep, then it makes you think, what does he have in his hand that he will put a Senzu Bean? Does he have 2 Senzu Beans in his hands right now? We know he already used one. He has one in the energy, so does he have 2 more or just one in his hand that he's saving? We don't know. We'll see, right? So that's the importance of being able to, let me double click to zoom in closer. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, there's one move. Exit out of there. There you go. Hopefully you can see it a little bit clearer. But you can see that I got the Jiren, I get the plus. You know, it's Jiren, so it'll be hard to interact with him. My opponent did a negate. I'm double checking stuff. Negate the attack. It's like, okay, I accept that. Now I'm playing something else. I think it's negated attack and play this card. Yeah, and play this card, so that's why it's on the field. It's not like he's waiting for me to do anything else. It's just like, alright, negating my attack with you. Time for me to swing at the leader. Something's lagging. Okay, the video stopped playing, that's what it was. Like, what's going on? Video stopped playing. Video's acting up. Okay, so I decided to attack the Unison. I guess I'm going to do the double strike thing and knock my the Unison down by 2 markers. I guess I'm trying to prevent it from going, what's it called, from being able to go ultimate. Because I know with 5 markers it can, right, 5 markers it can do the golden 8 thing. I mean, it's not necessary because you see my, it's not like I have a Videl in my hand or something like that I have to worry about. So, I'm declaring my attack. He is Senzu Bean. What is this? Oh, he's dimensioning magic. Which we know can only untap 2. So it looked like he untapped 3. I have no more attacks other than leader, but the leader's pointless. I'm probably just gonna end my turn. But so what I was saying about, so as you can see, just to go the Trunks, there's another defense card. The Dimension Magic he just played defense. So you see him, you know, this little match here is proving my point of being able to see the defense. Look, another defensive card. That's the Kamehameha black 1-drop energy. Look at that, max power Kamehameha. Is a lot of defense, right? He has a lot of defense. Even the Golden Adventure can negate an attack. It just a lot of times I like to mainly use it for its counter, but it can counter. It could counter attack if I'm right, or counter play and counter, or counter attack counter. Or does it do all 3? I don't remember right now. It'd be nice if my character highlights the Golden Avenger right quick, so I can check to see. I forgot where he's attacking. Was he attacking my leader and then I'm using my Jiren ability, or was he attacking my Unison? Let me see. No, he's attacking my Jiren. No. Yeah, no. Fire test shaken. No, he is attacking my Jiren. Yeah, he's attacking my Jiren. That's the thing. So he's attacking my Jiren because he's trying to make me lose a counter. But then I did that, and then now he's saying you can't. His defense can't do it during his defense step. He doesn't have one. And then it's like, yeah, you're right. because I guess I didn't notice that he was attacking my Jiren. So I respond with like, "You're right. I know Unisons don't have defense steps. They have, you can combo when they attack, but you can't combo to protect them." So I'm trying to think of like, how many to add. So I'm supposed to add 3. So then now I'm gonna have to -1. So obviously I'm not negating the attack. So you have to do it if it attacks on one other than the user. Yeah, I know about that. So I guess what you're doing is you're trying to make me get to the point where I only have 3, so that way when you do attack with attack my leader or my battle card with a battle card, then here's 5, 4. He's playing 4 energy. Yeah, there you go. So he's playing the other Abuni Muchin. So he's trying to get his Muchin on, trying to get his Milkman on. I'm doing my auto, so there's that. So that really starts me off. So, but I think he mentions barrier is like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's barrier. I thought he had deflect and the double strike and the potential for dual attack. Really, it's the one who has deflect is Abuni. Abuni has deflect, but Muchin has or Milkman, he has barrier. So it's like, oh yeah, lucky son of a gun. So it's a battle card, so he gets the dual attack. Good for him. So he has 20k double strike. They can attack twice. Obviously, I'm not going to lose this turn because I do have my second health bar. So once I awaken, I'm good. So I think he's double striking my Jiren, right? Yeah, he's double striking my Jiren. So he's trying to kill my Jiren. It's like, all right, well, cool. Waste your attacks on Jiren. I don't care. I was just only going to use him if he actually did something. But if you're going to waste attacks and resources on taking him down, then I don't care. But as you can see, he does have some offensive cards, of course. This deck is, has offensive and defense, but it was just a matter of knowing how offensive his hand and defensive his hand was. And you can tell that his hand was very defensive. But once he started charging his defense cards, then you knew he was keeping his offense and giving up his defense. So he was giving up his defensive cards so he can keep his offensive cards, because the only way he's going to deal me damage is if he plays cards to attack with. So he has to charge his defense. So he already charged 2 defensive cards. Technically 3 defensive cards. The Unisons, they're not defensive since you can't combo with them. And you only really need 1 at a time, and that 1 that he played already is already putting in work, so the rest is just dedicated energy. Well, we're not here to see the full battle. Let's see what happens. It's like some stuff happens. My turn. I do my little Gotenks play, and I'm still at 4 life. So think about it. I'm at 4 life. Now I'm at 2 in this, and now I finally awaken. And this is where you get his as a Buni. So you finally got a Buni out there. He's still doing his little Muchin, Milkman stuff. So I haven't cleared his board, and he's still at 6 life. I guess that was GG right there. Because if I might have deck out, right? Yes, enough to attack me to back out. So I do have Topo, but I think he counters me. He counters me with the Golden Ape. So again, further more defense for him. So see, alert. He's going to counter. He's going to tap 5. It's a matter of time before he does. Let's try to skip that real quick and see. There it is. He taps 5 for the Golden Ape. He taps an extra 1 it doesn't matter. It's the fact that he has the ability to, even though I could tell he did wrong, because this is black energy. So he tapped this for the golden 8, and the golden 8 needs 5 blue energy. So this was an illegal tap, but I didn't notice he tapped an extra of this, so he probably was going to untap that. Did you see? Right there. Right, so you see right here, he clearly tapped this. Blue, blue, black, blue, blue. But this requires 5 blue. And then if I play it, you'll see that he moves it over there, and from right he taps this one. He taps it, and I'm already finishing the game. And you know, GG, the game is over because he got that. But he probably was going to untap the black energy. He's probably realized that he tapped the wrong energy for the play, but he has it, and he has the energy for it, so that's all that really mattered. So if he got it, he got it. I wasn't going to win that duel. He had the advantage. But you can see, very defensive hand he had, and he played couple offensive cards, but his hand was more defense than offense. Once he wanted to be offensive, that's when he started giving up his defensive cards so he can, you know, start making his strong plays, which were expensive. Like I said, I knew his hands was expensive because how early he played his Senzu. He played Senzu when he only had 1 energy, and that was on turn 1. That was too early to play. Now he can play however he wants. You know, choice is yours. You play however way you feel is best suited for you. But it wasn't necessary. It wasn't that deep. I was just thinking like, wait, how did he awaken? Oh yeah, his leader has the new awaken condition where if he has the 3-drop unison, he can awaken. So obviously he was waiting to play his 3-drop unison so he can awaken. So he doesn't have to wait until he's at 4 life. But if he let me deal him 4 damage, he could have just awakened right there and then. And he would have been on turn 2 with 2 energies with the ability to tap those 2 energies for stuff, attack, untap them, and drew and did all the stuff. But I guess he just rather keep that extra energy as cushion, which I'm not against. That's a good strategy. Why let your opponent awaken you when you can awaken yourself, right? That's always best. But as you can see, there's the concept. If your opponent, final notes is if your opponent is not defending, that's the whole point. Was if they're not defending, then their hands is more likely offensive, which means they're going to do a clapback. They probably got like a big wall more combo. It tends to happen more with red. Red obviously can play a lot of free play cards, right? A lot of cards for free and swing a lot and go wide. So you got to keep that in mind. So if you're going up against like a red deck, for example, and they're not defending, they're letting you hit them left and right, more likely there's going to be a clapback. So keep that in mind. Just a rule of thumb. If you're attacking your opponent and it's just, you know, it's real easy, you just attack and they take in every hit and you attack and they take the hit, you attack and take the hit, it's like, damn it, he got the clap back. He's going to come back at me. He's going to drop his hands and attack me with a whole bunch of stuff. And if you don't have the defense, well, you screwed yourself over. Let's say you have the negates, but you're tapped out because you were getting all these free hits. Your opponent was letting you deal them damage and you weren't even noticing that it's because they plan to clap back, so they don't care. They don't care if you take them down to 1 life because they're going to come back and take all 8 of your life. They're just hoping you do tap out, which is why it's important to pay attention to what your opponent is doing. Because if they're defending a lot, then their hand is more defensive than offensive. But if they're not defending, then that means their hands is more offensive than defense. There's a clap back. So hopefully this will help you avoid situations where, you know, after you do a lot of damage and then end your turn, think like, yeah, next turn I'm gonna win, and then your opponent claps back at you and wins, and you're like, but how did I lose? This don't make sense. It's like, oh, it does. If you were paying attention, your opponent was literally telling you that they have to clap back. They don't care how much damage you deal them this turn, because when it's their turn, they're gonna hit you twice as hard. And that's the end of the video.